Good evening. My name is Bob Connors. It's 6:01 p.m. I'd like to call the February 6th meeting of the Newbury Conservation Commission to order. Sam, can you read the remote open meeting law preamble and take a roll call vote of members present?
Yes. All right. So as a preliminary matter, my name is Samantha Holt, Town Staff Conservation Agent for the Newbury Conservation Commission. Permit me to confirm that all members are present and can hear me. Conservation Commission members, when I call your name, please respond in the affirmative. Bob Connors.
Yes.
We do not have Brad Duffin tonight. Diane O'Brien.
Yes.
Mary Rimmer.
Yes.
We do not have Mick Brown tonight. TJ Conti.
Here.
All right. And Woody should be in here hopefully soon. And there he is right now. Give him a second to get in. All right. And now it looks like we have Woody Knight.
Hey, Woody,
All
we
right.
just opening the meeting, Woody.
All right. Good evening. This February 6, 2024 open meeting of the Newbury Conservation Commission is being conducted remotely consistent with the act relative to extending certain COVID-19 measures adopted during the state of emergency, which extends the governor's March 12, 2020 order suspending certain provisions of the open meeting law until March 31st, 2025. This order suspends the requirement of the open meeting law to have all meetings in a publicly accessible physical location and allows public bodies to meet entirely remotely so long as reasonable public access is afforded so that the public can follow along with the deliberations of the meeting. Please note that this meeting is being recorded and that attendees are participating by video and/or telephone conference, and the recording will be available on the Newbury Access YouTube channel. Meeting materials were provided to the Conservation Commission members prior to the meeting for review. Before we turn to the first item on the agenda, permit me to cover some ground rules for effective and clear conduct of our business and to ensure accurate meeting minutes. The chair will introduce each speaker on the agenda. Proponents will be given 10 minutes to present. More time may be allowed at the discretion of the chair. After they conclude their remarks, we will go down the list of commission members, inviting each by name to provide any comment, questions, or motions. Please hold until your name is called. Further, for all attendees except commission members and staff, please remember to mute your computer using the mute button or your phone using *6 to toggle mute and unmute when you are not speaking. Please remember to speak clearly and in a way that helps generate accurate minutes. Please be aware that video participants can see you and that you should take care not to screen share your computer unless you have been allowed to do so. Anything that you broadcast may be captured by the recording. For any responses, please wait until the floor is yielded to you and state your name before speaking. If commission members wish to engage in discussion with other members, please do so through the chair, taking care to identify yourself when you wish to speak. There will be an opportunity for public comment and questions during public hearings. After commission members have spoken, we will afford the public an opportunity to comment and/or ask questions as follows. I will seek questions and comments at the appropriate time through the Zoom raise hand function. For video conference participants, to raise your hand, hover over the bottom of your Zoom window below the photo gallery and click on the yellow hand that appears. If you don't see a yellow hand, click on the participants button. A list of participants will open a display on the right. At the bottom of this participant area, you will see an option to click on the raise hand function. Please ensure your name is fully and correctly displayed on the participant list. You may rename yourself using the more function next to your name. For telephone participants, to raise your hand in a Zoom meeting, hit *9 on your phone's keypad. We will then allow questions and comments from members of the public who have raised their hands in the order in which they appear listed on my screen based on when the function was selected. Each participant will be called upon to provide their name and address or affiliation and will be afforded 3 minutes to make comments. More time may be allowed at the discretion of the chair. The proponent and commission members will have the opportunity to reply as needed. Your hand will be lowered when you've been given the floor for your questions. We will then continue down the list of those in the raised hand column and again afford time for responses as needed. All participants are reminded that only matters which fall into the jurisdiction of the Conservation Commission may be discussed. The chat feature has been disabled for this meeting, and everyone is expected to conduct themselves in the same manner they would at an in-person meeting. Disruptions that impede operations of this commission will be addressed once by the chair and should be acknowledged by the disruptor. Further disruptions may result in complete removal from the meeting with no readmittance. Vulgar or obscene actions or comments will result in immediate removal from the meeting with no readmittance. And finally, each vote taken in this meeting will be conducted by a roll call vote.
Okay, Sam, thank you. All right, team, upcoming meeting dates, February 20th, March 5th, and March 19th. We have some meeting minutes to review. I'll take these one at a time. December 5th, 2023. Will we take a minute to review those, see if we have any questions or concerns? Okay, hearing no questions, is there a motion to approve the meeting minutes for December 5th, 2023. Roll call vote, all in favor? Mary? You're on mute, Mary, if you're.
Yep.
you-
I'm coughing. I
okay.
did not have a chance to review the minutes, so I will pass on.
Okay, TJ,
Aye.
Woody,
Yes.
Diane,
Yes.
and Bob Connors vote yes. So we got the majority vote on the December 5th meeting minutes. Okay, the next meeting minutes is January 2nd, 2024. Why don't we take a moment and take a look at those and see if there's any questions, concerns, or corrections.
Bob, I'll just note I was not at that meeting, so maybe take extra long so Mary can read them.
Actually, I want you to know I read all of these tonight.
I did too then.
You know, so,
I just mean if you need the extra vote.
well, we will to get a majority vote, so. Any questions on the January 2nd? With Diane not being present and Brad and Mick, we need 4 votes to approve this, or we would just push them to the next meeting. I'm gonna give Mary a few seconds here to,
I'm just, oh, here they are. Okay. I'm just
Speed
having a
read.
hard time locating them here.
Sorry, didn't mean to.
Yeah, This is,
Uh,
you're doing,
December,
January 2nd?
yeah, January 2nd, there.
Looks good.
Okay. All right, is there a motion to approve the meeting minutes for January 2nd, 2024? Roll call vote, all in favor? Mary,
Yes.
TJ,
Yes.
Woody,
Yes.
and Bob Connors votes yes. So we have a majority vote to carry that. All right, the next minutes are January 16th, 2024.
I was not here for that meeting.
Okay, I was not either.
Ooh, I was.
Very brief meeting.
Yeah.
and
Yeah, we can table that one since we don't have enough people to vote on it.
Right, yeah, there's only 2 of you. It's just really
Yep.
Mary, Woody, and Diane that could vote on. Okay, Sam, why don't we just push that back to our next meeting on February 20th, if you would. Thank you. Okay, the next matter is an extension of permit request for DEP file number 0501340 Marsh Meadow Lane, and it's for work to construct a 2-family residence with associated site work. Sam, can you provide an overview and a recommendation on this matter?
Yep, so this is more of just a formality having this one on here. Unfortunately, the permit for this one expired in December of 2023, and we just got the extension request in January. Unfortunately, it did not qualify for any of the COVID tolling dates. It needed to be valid and still open prior to March, I believe March 10th or
Yes,
March
that's
17th, maybe,
Yeah, March
of
10th was the date.
2020.
yeah, of 2020. So unfortunately, because it was issued after that, it does not qualify for any of the COVID tolling. So unfortunately, we would have needed to get the extension request back in November for this one for it to be able to get extended. So unfortunately, we are going to have to deny this one, and the applicant is going to have to refile if they want to move forward with any of that work.
Okay, I see Ryan Kelly is on the Zoom meeting. Ryan, do you have any questions? That unfortunately, it's just so clear cut on particular time and date
Yep.
when the tolling went in, but
Yeah, thank you all for having this. Yeah, it's a first for me, and obviously things take a lot longer than we all want, and with some ledge and engineers and all that stuff, everything takes longer. So I guess my only question would be, you know, any direction, and I can talk with Christy or anything like that as far as what the process is for reapplying or refiling, or if it's a re-notification of a butters. Nothing on the site has been changed except for a little scraping where we found the ledge. So silt fence and stuff like that was installed before all that work. So just kind of figuring out what my next steps will be.
Okay, I would just suggest talk to Sam, Chrissy. Who made the original presentation for you, Ryan?
I think it was Bob from ELS, Bob Grasso.
Okay. He may be a good person just to check with too.
Okay.
So
Let me-
I wanted to ask you guys about that one. So I spoke with Ryan a few weeks ago about this. The site plans for this one, I believe, were done in 2020. So typically we like to see things that aren't older than 3 years, but can we make an exception for this one so he doesn't have to get a whole new set of site plans done, and he can essentially just make sure that, have Bob take a look at it, make sure that everything from the original NOI is still applicable and that it still meets all of the performance standards and the regulations, and just resubmit everything new?
Okay. Thank you, Sam. Mary, you had a question.
Yeah, no, I think that generally we don't like to have delineations more than 3 years old, but in this case, if like Sam said, we have a letter from the engineer saying that conditions haven't changed, preferably a letter from whoever flagged it originally saying conditions haven't changed, then you can resubmit the same site plan. You also need to close out the old order of conditions, so you'll need to request a
Right.
certificate of compliance for the existing order that expired, that's been recorded against your deed, so you'll want to have and that's a simple, just a form that you'll fill out, and Sam can help you with that, and it'll just essentially say the work was never done, and that you will record that as well, so that will release the old order of conditions off your title, filed for a new one. And like we said, you could probably use the same plan, but you do need to re-notify abutters. It needs to be re-advertised in the newspaper, and we need to hold another public hearing, so. all of
Okay.
that.
And thank you. Yeah. So we have an updated site plan. So to that point, I guess it makes sense. It's, it's no problem to file
that's
the
right.
new one because
Yep.
we have an updated site plan because of the ledge and all that stuff. We kind of had to reorganize the building a little
Okay.
bit. So,
that.
yeah, that makes sense to close out the old order and file the new one, and then the notification and the process. We'll just hopefully get that in as soon as possible. And yeah, if there's anybody that can, reach out or help me through that to get that back to you guys as soon as possible, that'd be great.
Okay. I think it just simply requesting a certificate of compliance on your existing order of conditions, Ryan. And what's the associated fee to do that, Sam? Is there a fee for a certificate of compliance?
There is, yep, it's $100 fee for that.
Oh, under the bylaw, okay.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. So Ryan, I think if you went down and saw Sam,
Yep.
you could get that request going, and we'll
Okay.
get it on the agenda.
Okay, and that's closing out the old one and doing the new one is just the certificate of compliance, just as it is.
No, Mary brought a
Yeah.
great point. It solves a title glitch you'd have if you didn't do that.
Okay, so that'll be the first step.
Right, I think that would be the first thing.
Perfect. I will chat with everybody hopefully soon. Thank you all so much.
Okay, thank you, Ryan. All right, moving on to the next order of business. Hang on, let me just. Okay, we have a request for a certificate of compliance on DEP file number 050-0400 47 Northern Boulevard for work to renovate the existing single-family home. This order goes back to 1994. Sam, can you provide an overview on this one?
Yep. So this one, like you said, it's pretty old. We unfortunately don't really have any records from this one, and there isn't really a whole lot in the building file. So all we really know is that it was for work to renovate the original order conditions. I did find that, but as per usual, since it's from the 90s, it is very slim on information. There was not really a whole lot in it. But from what I could tell, it looked like everything was all set and the house looks pretty good right now. So I would recommend a complete certificate for this one.
Okay, thank you, Sam. I actually took a ride by this, and there's nothing outwardly out of order. So,
Yeah.
so questions from the members. Mary, any questions on this one?
No, it's, so hard to tell with these. There's a shed on the property now. Who knows if that was there at the time of the filing or not? But if everything looks in order, then I would agree that the certificate of compliance is appropriate.
Okay, thank you, Mary. Woody, any questions on this one?
No, no questions, Bob. Thank you.
Thank you. TJ, any questions on this one?
None on this one, Bob.
Okay, Diane, how about yourself? Any questions?
No,
Okay, I have no questions. Sam, any raised hands from the public at this time for this?
I do not see any.
Okay, is there a motion to issue a certificate of compliance for 47 Northern Boulevard?
So moved.
Do we have a second?
second,
Okay, roll call vote. All in favor? Mary,
Yes,
TJ,
Aye.
Woody,
Yes.
Diane,
yes,
and Bob Connors votes yes. All right, we have another certificate of compliance. This is for DEP file number 0501401, 1 Elm Street. This is the Governor's Academy for work to construct a pedestrian access walkway. Sam, can you give us an overview and a recommendation?
Yep. So this is the access walkway that goes from Middle Road up to the new science building. There were very minimal changes that were made. They actually, I think they came in at one point for a amendment because they ended up having to reroute the trail that they were constructing. And everything that all got approved. I was out there many times during the actual construction. I've taken a look at it. Everything looks great. The whole project looks pretty good. So I would recommend a complete certificate for this.
Okay. All right, questions. Mary, any questions on this request?
no, I don't have any.
Okay, thank you, Mary. Woody, any questions?
I was on a site walk at Governor Dummel, I believe it was last week, and I saw this project. It looks good. No questions.
Thank you, Woody. TJ, any questions on this matter?
No questions.
Thank you, TJ. Diane, how about yourself? Any questions on this one?
nope,
And I have no questions. And I have to give governors credit. They always do a first-class job on their presentations, and I think it makes for a better project and makes our jobs a little bit easier. Sam, any raised hands from the public at this time?
I do not see any. Nope.
Okay. Is there a motion to issue a certificate of compliance for 1 Elm Street?
so moved,
Do we have
Second.
a second? Okay, roll call vote. All in favor? Mary,
Yes,
TJ,
Aye.
Woody,
Yes.
Diane,
yes,
and Bob Connors.
could I
All
make
right.
just a brief comment?
Yes,
on
sir,
the
yes,
project?
certainly, Mary.
Thank you. Just when we have certificates of compliance, it would be really helpful if you also posted in the Dropbox, the original order of conditions.
Oh, in the as-built plan. Yeah, I completely forgot to do that.
Not even the as-built or the original plan, so we have something to go by. That'd be great. Thanks, Sam.
Yep.
Good
Both
point,
the
Mary.
order.
All right. So next order of business is minor modifications. Let me just make sure I haven't skipped anything here. Okay, correct. DEP file number 050139026 Northern Boulevard. A request for a minor modification to replace existing roof overhangs. Team, if you remember, we have an existing order of conditions on this one. And the applicant is proposing some minor changes. Sam, can you provide an overview and a recommendation on this one?
Yep. So the original order conditions for this one was actually for the deck on when you're looking at the house It's the deck that is off the left side and wraps around the back. And I am also realizing now that the address for that is not on there, and I apologize for that. I had a few typos when I was writing this out. So this is 26 Northern,
Right.
and Dave Mullen is the applicant. So far, everything looks really good as far as the work goes. The modification is they're not going to have any ground impact or anything. They are just going to be replacing and reconstructing some of the existing roof overhangs that are on the house that just come off of like above the doors and stuff like that. So I didn't really have any major concerns about this, and I think all of the original conditions from the first order should cover everything for this one as well.
Okay. Thank you, Sam. Questions from the members? Mary, any questions for the applicant on this? My understanding of these are just window flares over existing windows that are being
Yeah,
restored.
that seems
Correct.
perfectly fine. Do we have the date that this expires?
This one was issued last year, so I believe this will expire in 2026.
Yeah, okay. Thanks. I'm all
Okay.
set.
Okay, Woody, any questions?
Just a clarification question. What's the address on this one?
26 Northern, yeah,
Northern.
26 Northern Boulevard, Woody.
Okay, thank you, Bob. No other questions.
Okay, thank you, Woody. TJ, any questions?
No
on this?
question. Nope.
All right, thank you, TJ. Diane, any questions?
No,
And I have no questions. Sam, any raised hands from the public at this time?
I do not see any. Nope.
Okay. Is there a motion to approve the minor modification for 26 Northern Boulevard existing order of conditions?
So
so
moved.
moved. Second,
Okay, roll call vote. All in favor, say aye. Mary?
Yes,
TJ?
Aye.
Woody?
Aye.
Diane?
yes.
And Bob Connors votes yes. All right. We have, the next matter is a request for determination of applicability. It's our file number NCC 435-72 Northern Boulevard for work to install an emergency generator. Sam, can you provide a project overview and a recommendation on this matter?
Yes. So again, this one, it's really straightforward. We do these all the time. It's an emergency generator installation. And unfortunately, I'm doing this off of my phone right now, so I don't know if I'm going to be able to pull up and share the actual RDA, but everything looks pretty good for it. I didn't really have any concerns about this one. We do have a sketch showing where the generator is going to go, and they are aware of the requirement for it to be elevated. So I think this one should be all set, and I would recommend a negative determination.
Okay. Thank you, Sam. Mary, any questions on this one?
I'm gonna see if I can try to pull it up for you guys.
yeah, so, yeah, the plan doesn't have the address on it, so that would be helpful to have that, just somebody add that to it. And how is it being elevated? Is it hanging off the side of the building, or are they going to put it on posts? Do we have any kind of a plan that shows that? It just looks like the plan that's in the file that just says emergency generator minimum 2 feet off grade.
So I believe it is being elevated on a platform. Give me 1 second.
Yeah, I can see what Mary sees.
Yeah, it looks like, so on the plan, it is shown right up on the side of the house. So it may be attached to the house.
You know what, Sam, we have the applicant here. I see Jim McClatchy. Jim is a seasoned builder, and I think he can answer our questions.
Great.
Jim,
Yes.
what's your plan on the base for your generator? Is it hanging off the side of the house, or is it just going to be on post raised above the ground?
I could mount it either way, whichever the board prefers. I will hang it off the house, which is pretty simple there, or I could put a platform in, sink some posts and raise it up to 2 feet off the ground.
Okay, I mean, it would seem to me, and I'll go back to Mary, if you fasten it to the house and you support it and you're not doing anything, you're not doing any type of post into the ground, you can do it off. You have all steel there, as I recall, Jim, don't you?
I'm sorry, what?
You have steel pilings, you're all steel there, aren't you?
We're on pilings, yes.
Yeah, okay. All right, Mary, do you have a,
No, I think that sounds fine. If we just issue, you know, a negative a positive, no, negative determination that says that, you know, it's approved subject to it being 2 feet above grade and on piles, non-sonotube piles and, or mounted to the building, either way could be approved.
okay. Okay.
Yeah, and I
thank you.
have some language that I can put in for that as far as if it goes up on a platform. Some language that I use for that,
Okay,
for
great.
the materials that get used.
Okay, Mary, anything else before I move on to TJ? Okay, thank you, Mary. TJ, any questions on 72 Northern Boulevard?
No, pretty simple.
Okay, thank you, TJ. Woody, any questions on this one?
No questions. Thank
All right,
you.
thank you, Woody. Diane, any questions on this matter?
No, it looked good. I looked at it.
Okay, and I have no questions. Sam, any raised hands from the public?
I do not see any.
Okay. All right, is there a motion to issue a negative determination for 72 Northern Boulevard?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second,
Okay. Roll call vote, all in favor? Mary,
Yes,
TJ,
Yes.
Woody,
Yes,
Diane,
yes.
yes.
and Bob
Yeah.
Connors votes yes. Okay, good luck, Jim and Ellen.
Thank you very much. Have a good night.
Okay,
Bye-bye.
next matter is a continued public hearing for DEP file number 0501409, 18 Fordham Way, the Blue Inn, for after the fact approval of work to replace 2 sets of beach access stairs. Sam has notified me that the applicant has requested a continuance. Did he specify a date that he wanted this to be continued to, Sam?
He did, yes. He would like to continue this to the first meeting in March, which is going to be March
March
5th.
5th, okay. Okay, so no discussion is necessary on this other than that do we entertain a motion to continue this public hearing
can I
until?
ask
Yeah, go ahead, Mary.
if there was a reason given? I know this isn't kind of an enforcement action, so.
Yeah, so he is working on getting the beach management plan all written up. Tom is he's working on the project in Salisbury as well
I know.
that they are dealing with, which is an absolute mess. So he has been a little bit things have been a little bit chaotic for him recently. So
Okay.
he just didn't want to send out something that was going to be, you know, not to the best of his abilities, and he wanted to make sure that it was, you know, the most complete that it could be, and he wanted to make sure that he gave you guys plenty of time to actually review it prior to the meeting. So
Sounds good.
I think he's hoping to get it done this month.
Thank you.
Okay, anything else, Mary?
Nope, would make a motion to continue to March, whatever you said.
March 5th, 2024. Okay, gentlemen, any other questions, or team, any other questions before we move on? Okay, we have a motion to continue this matter to March 5th. Do we have a second?
Second,
Okay, all those in favor say aye. Mary,
Aye,
TJ,
Aye.
Woody,
Aye,
Brad and Mick are not here. Diane,
yes.
and Bob Connors votes yes. All right. Next matter is DEP file number 0501386, 333rd Street. The work to install a driveway to provide on-site parking with associated site work, including work within the 33rd Street right-of-way. Sam, I'm under the impression that this one is also being requested to be continued.
It is, yes. Tom has an updated cover letter and a plan that he's going to be sending in soon. I think he's hoping to get that out sometime this week to me to send out to you guys, and to get out to all of the abutters team. And he wanted to make sure that you guys had enough time to review everything. So he is looking to continue to the February 20th meeting.
Okay, February 20. Okay, Mary, any questions on this one? Okay, anyone else have a question on this?
No.
I'll entertain a motion to continue the public hearing to February 20th, 2024 at the request of the applicant.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, all those in favor? Mary,
Yes,
TJ,
Aye.
Woody? Woody, you made,
He's frozen.
Aye.
okay. Okay, good.
Aye.
Diane,
honestly,
Yes.
thank you, Woody. The internet gremlins are active tonight for some reason. Diane
Yes.
and Bob Connors votes yes. Okay, now
Bob, I know we have Matt in here for 31 Southern. Do we want to skip ahead to 94 Northern? That's getting continued as well, so we can just get that one out of the way and then let Matt.
yeah, absolutely. Okay, team, we have a new public hearing, and has not been assigned a file number. It's for 72 Northern Boulevard.
And sorry about that. That was a typo. It's 94 Northern. The one that's up
Okay.
on the website and that's in the Dropbox is correct, and I apologize about that.
Okay.
The applicant advised me of that yesterday, and I didn't realize it. A lot of copying and pasting going on the agenda, if you can't tell.
Okay. All right, well, so 94 Northern Boulevard for work to construct landscaping, hardscaping, and paving work. It has it's not been assigned a DEP file number, so it's an incomplete submittal at this point. Did they request a continuance to a date certain, Sam?
They did. They would like to continue to the February 20th meeting, and I'm going to get in touch with DEP tomorrow and see what happened with that, because I know they submitted that like 3 weeks ago.
Okay.
So it's a little bit strange that it's not even in the portal right now.
Okay, I'll entertain a motion to continue this public hearing to February 2024 at the request of the applicant.
So moved.
So moved. Second.
Okay. All those in favor? Mary?
yes, but I do have a comment if, once you take.
Okay, yeah, no, certainly, yeah.
Should I do it now or?
Yeah, no, do it now, Mary, before we,
I just looked at the plan that they submitted. And it's not a stamp plan, it's not a survey plan,
Nice.
and it looks like there's work in the right of way. They don't have the right of way shown correctly, at least not according to what I could find, on GIS. So
Okay.
I think, and I don't think that the relationship between the house and the garage is correct either. So I think they need to get a survey plan before they come back to us.
All
I
right,
would
I'll
think the technical comments from DEP will be
talk
pretty
about that
specific.
too.
Diane, do you have a comment on this?
Yeah, I also just had a comment as well, because I did look through it and I had the same thing about nothing being signed or stamped. And also, it's more of I know it's just landscaping, but the landscaping plan doesn't do a great job of showing what's there and what's proposed. So when you're looking at it, for me at least, it was a little bit, I don't really know exactly what changes are being made, I guess.
Yeah, I'll talk to them about that. They again, similar to many other people, they were a little frustrated with the fact that they had to go through this whole process. And I didn't really, when I went out and met them, I said, I really don't think that we can do this as an RDA. It seems like it's a bit too much to do that. And I did advise them that there is a chance that they could be told that they need to get engineered plans and to be prepared for that. So I will give the applicant a call and let them know.
Yeah, I mean, at a minimum, they need a stamp survey plan showing existing and proposed changes. And they probably should hire a consultant to help them along.
Yeah.
Otherwise, they're going to get tied up at DEP, Sam, and then there'll be a number of questions or deficiencies that will be raised by the board. So,
yeah.
Okay. All right. So we have a motion and a second to continue the public hearing to February 20th, 2024. Roll call. All in favor? Mary?
Yes.
TJ?
Aye.
Woody?
Yes.
Diane?
Yes.
And Bob Connors votes yes. All right, now we go back to 31 Southern Boulevard. So we have a public hearing for DEP file number 0501420, 31 Southern Boulevard, for work to construct residential additions and balconies in place of existing decks. Team, there were technical comments on the website, and basically it states that since the property is located within the limit of a moderate wave action and has experienced dune erosion, the project scope should also include planting of dune grass to the exposed dune in front of the deck and installing a snow fence. So Sam, what's your project overview and a recommendation on this?
Yep. So this one it's on the surface, it's relatively straightforward, at least as far as the actual construction goes. So they are looking at basically just taking some areas from the existing that are currently decks and balconies, and they are looking at putting residential additions on and expanding the livable space in the house a little bit over those areas. And then off the back side of the deck, or off the back side of the house rather, they are looking at replacing some of the pilings for that area of the deck. And I think, I know we have Matt Steinell here, and he will probably be able to do a lot better job of explaining everything and going through all that information.
Okay, thank you, Sam. Matt, can you just identify yourself and give us your presentation?
Yes, good evening. Matt Steinell from Millennium Engineering. I'm here tonight representing Brian Dobbins. The plan I have up on the screen is actually an updated plan. I apologize to the commission, but this was just updated a couple days ago to actually cut the scope of work back. We're doing less than what was originally submitted. So originally, as Sam had mentioned, there was a plan to do some work on the back deck that faces the ocean. We received some pushback from Natural Heritage Endangered Species because of work that had occurred on the site 10 years prior. As a result of storm damage, the town came in and put a very large row of boulders along this section of beach, and Natural Heritage essentially said that work was never permitted and that the applicant needed to address it. And because he's unwilling to address it, he didn't do the work, the town did. He said, well, I don't really need to do the work that I was originally proposing to do on the deck. The focus of the work is really on the addition. So we scaled the work back, took out the support posts that were going to be put in on the backside deck. And what you have in front of you now on the left-hand side of the screen is the existing conditions. You can see in the dark brown color is the primary structure of the home. And what's in the lighter tan sections are the decks, balconies, and stairs. Currently on the front of the home, overhanging the driveway is a second-story balcony. They plan to remove that second-story balcony And the first floor entry, the landing and stairs here, they want to remove those. And on the right-hand side, you can see they plan to, excuse me, they plan to build an addition squaring off the house here, and then a new landing with stairs going down. So this is within the footprint of what's there now for the first floor landing coming into the home. That addition there will be on piles. And then on the right-hand side of the structure, you can see here in tan, there's a dash line that cuts across here. That's to demark the limits of the deck that is to be removed. The deck on the ocean side this way will remain. And then a new addition constructed on that side of the home, again, within the footprint of what's currently there for the deck. Also on piles. Sheet 2, we've provided a architectural rendering side view profile that shows that the entire structure will be on a pile supported steel frame above flood. The flood elevation in this location here, you can see, if I zoom in here. And my computer is going to give me a hard time. I got to move that out of the way. Here we go. So the flood elevation you can see here, base flood elevation is BFE VE 16, so velocity zone elevation 16, and the bottom of the structure is at 22.23. So we're pretty much 6 feet above the flood zone, where the requirement is only that the bottom of the structure be 2 feet. So we have an additional 4 feet of vertical separation to the bottom of the structure. And on that first, you can see here, this is the ocean side of the structure. There is currently a 5.5 foot balcony off the second floor that is over top of the lower deck. And they're planning on tearing off that 5.5 foot balcony and extending it out to 8 feet. So it's going out an additional 2.5 feet over the existing deck below. And I'll go back to sheet 1. And you can see here, this is the second story balcony right here on the back of the primary structure over top of the deck underlying it. And then the extended balcony will come out a little bit further over that existing deck, will come across and connect to the new addition over here, completely within the footprint of the underlying deck below it. The comments from the state, I know the chair brought up the comments from the state. We did receive a DEP file number. I spoke with the owner about that there, and the problem with the state's comments, first off, we don't see them as instructions to do that work. We see it as recommendation. The wording of it is that the applicant should do, not shall. And the problem with this is all of the work the applicant is proposing to do is within the footprint of existing structures. We're not expanding, we're not impacting vegetation. We're not doing anything that would require any type of planting. And based on the comments, originally the plan was to put sand fencing at the base of the hill and then to vegetate some areas. And based on the comments from Natural Heritage Endangered Species, that if we were to go up into that area, they're going to force us to address the boulder wall. He has no desire to do that. And in planting that area, it would trigger the MESA review, it would trigger a natural heritage review, and he just wants to avoid that at this time. So he's opting not to address the DEP comments as it relates to vegetation planting, and asking the commission to review and discuss and vote on the project that's before you tonight. Beyond that, it's a relatively simple project, and I'm happy to answer any questions that the commission has.
Okay, Matt, let me open up questioning to the members. Mary, questions for the applicant?
She's muted.
Mute up.
All of DEP's comments are recommendations or, guidance, so, we can take them as that always. I think it looks pretty straightforward to me. I like that you included the profile of the building as well, of the addition as well. My only comment would be that any vegetation, and I'm glad you're showing the vegetation mapped on this plan too, that's really helpful. I think that portion that's vegetated right up against the existing side of the house there, the deck there now, is likely to be damaged during construction, which is people walking over it. So I would recommend that we include a condition that be restored, and either those plantings be set aside and stockpiled so they can be retransplanted when the work is done, or new plantings installed in those areas to replicate that current condition.
Okay, Mary, any other questions for Matt on this?
No, I think, our standard construction conditions for
Sure.
work on the island would be appropriate.
Okay, thank you, Mary. TJ, any questions for Matt on this matter?
Nope, I think it looks like a good plan.
Okay, thank you, TJ. Woody, any questions for Matt on this matter?
No, I don't have any questions. As well presented. Thank you.
Okay, Diane, any questions on this matter?
Has the building office signed off on it as far as the 51% of the building value costs? Has
The
anyone looked at
applicant
that?
has sat, yes, the applicant has sat with the building inspector, Peter Burnett, and reviewed this and come to the conclusion, without an official submittal, he hasn't issued any official decision, but came to the conclusion that because the work that's being done is not including, bathrooms and kitchens, the expensive things, that this addition could be done for well under the 50%.
I'm a little nervous just if we don't have anything official yet saying that it's under the 50%. Can we do something where we okay it conditioned upon that?
Well, let me just think about that. The building inspector makes that determination, and if he makes that determination, what would change? The additions are going on, being supported up the existing deck, Matt, or are they being put on pilings, or what?
Round pounds.
Yeah,
So
it
it's
would be the
proposed to be
same.
on new pilings.
Yeah, so wouldn't that be the same result if we determined a 50-50 rule?
Yeah, I'm not sure. I
No.
guess that's what I'm asking. The house itself isn't on pilings, right?
Right.
That's correct.
main
So no,
structure.
it's not the same determination. However, your decision isn't predicated upon the building inspector making that determination ahead of time. If he does determine that it triggers the 50% rule, it means he would not issue the building permit, and we would be back to square one at the, designing something new or closing the project out if he chose not to move forward. So having it as a condition of the approval is not something that we're worried about, because we would
Perfect.
have to get that done anyways.
Okay, that was my concern, so that's fine. When DEP issued its comments, had they seen the revised plan, or did they still think you were putting pilings in the back there?
No, they had not seen the revised plan. That was just mailed out to them 2 days ago when we submitted the new plans to you. However, even with the old plan, the pilings were going within the footprint of the original structure. So even with that old plan, there was no intent to damage vegetation. I do have photos of the site. I don't know if that is helpful at all for the commission. I can put them up, but the vegetation that Commissioner Rimmer brought up on this site here is a concern that she brought up in a valid concern on other sites. We have transplanted and stockpiled and replanted, such as she suggested. We've also been asked by DEP to put down sheets of plywood over it to protect it. I can tell you that what's in this area here, and I can show you in the photos if you'd like, is mainly beach grass mixed with quite a bit of goldenrod. So I don't know if putting plywood over it would damage the goldenrod or damage some of those taller plants. It may be better to do as she suggested, which is to transplant them and replant them afterwards.
No, thank you. It looked good to me. I saw the photos.
Okay, and I think we've covered most of the questions here. Certainly, I can see we will be adding some special conditions if we get that far on the application tonight. Okay, Sam, any raised hands from the public at this time on this matter? I don't see it.
I do not see any.
Okay. All right, do any members have a request for a site visit or additional information or plan amendment or adding additional content to the notice of intent?
No,
I think the photos were helpful.
Okay.
Agreed.
Do we have a motion to close the public hearing?
So moved.
Do we have a
Second.
second? Okay, roll call vote. All in favor? Mary?
Yes,
TJ?
Yes.
Woody?
Yes.
Diane?
yes.
and Bob Connors. All right, why don't we talk about special conditions? Mary, I like your idea of one, either including something that the existing vegetation will be maintained or restored to its existing density or stockpiled as was suggested. What other special conditions would you like to see in this that would be helpful on this project? Where are you going to store? Where's the dumpster going to go, Matt? I know there's a driveway and all that
Yeah.
stuff.
Yes, so the entire side of the property here, as well as the front, is all currently a clamshell driveway.
Right.
So they'll likely come in and do their demolition work by hand. It's a deck, so they'll be able to pull most of that apart without any heavy equipment. They'll be able to travel in through this path here in order to set the new piles. And most of their work will occur out here in the front, so they'll likely place the dumpster here in the front.
So Sam, if we can add as a condition that all dumpsters and materials will be limited to store and stored on existing driveway.
Yep.
And what verbiage would be good for the plantings? Just so that's clarity to what we're expecting, and certainly we know that you know the applicant.
So the stuff that we put in for the plantings, actually, I think that is already a
Covered.
standard condition that
Okay.
that either that existing vegetation should not be disturbed, and if it is, it has to be replaced in kind. And that's typically just something that if people say, hey, you know, we went out here, we weren't expecting to, but some of the beach grass got torn up a little bit, and then I just go out and check on it, and they either get some plugs and replace it, or they're able to pull it up and put it back in once they're done with the construction, and essentially just replant it. But I will check on that, and if it's not, I believe it is a standard condition already, but if it's not, I know I have some language from previous orders of conditions that have similar things in them. And it essentially just says all existing vegetation shall not be disturbed. And if it is, it has to be replaced in kind.
Okay.
And that they're also allowed to dig it up to avoid disturbance and then replant it once construction's done.
Gotcha. Okay, and I think we have a very detailed site plan and pictures, so I think
Yep.
we'll be able to determine what needs to be done. All right. Team, is there a motion to issue an order of conditions with those additional special conditions we just mentioned? The 31 Southern Boulevard.
So move.
Second,
Okay, all in favor? Mary,
Yes,
TJ,
yes.
Woody,
Yes,
Diane,
Yes.
Bob Connors votes yes. Okay, thank you, Matt.
Thank you.
Okay. Well, team, it's 6:54 p.m. and we're on the administration side of our agenda. Any staff reports or updates, Sam, you want to share with the board?
I do not have anything right now. Nope.
Okay. One thing I wanted to bring up, and I was talking to Sam in the DPW. Apparently, there's a lot of debris on the beach in the form of logs, wood, lumber, probably some lobster traps or other debris. And there's a plan with the town of removing the material, all this debris to Center Island, where it will be cut up and hauled away by the town. But everyone wanted to make sure that the commission was aware of this. It's typically an annual matter. Everyone is well aware that this will probably be done in the next 30 days, but nothing will take place after April 1st without checking back with the commission. So that's just more of a heads up. Normal course of business of just removing debris off the beach. And CSO reports. We've had, I think we're almost at 1 billion gallons of CSOs with all this range. It's mind-boggling, and I'll leave it at that. But any other matters? Let me go around. Mary, any comments or?
no, I don't have any.
Okay, Diane, any comments you wanna add?
Nope.
Woody, any comments?
No, I don't have anything, Bob. Thanks.
Okay, and TJ, do you need any golf advice on your game tomorrow? or-
Plenty of that.
Okay, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
So moved. Second.
Okay, roll call. All in favor? Mary,
Yes.
TJ, Woody,
Yes, yes, yes.
Diane? Yes, yes,
Yes.
yes. Good night, everyone. Thank
Good
you. for
night.
making
Night, Bob.
it-
Thank
making
you.
the
Thank you,
meeting.
everyone.
Thank you, Sam.
I guess.